hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer, a screamer.
What is going on, entertainers? So I'm coming to you guys with another recap of Bobby I Love You Purr season 1 episode reunion part 3. Y'all, I'm so glad this series is over. Like, I felt embarrassed, and I wasn't even on the show. Like, it's just embarrassing to me. Like, I felt embarrassed, and I'm not even on the show. Like, that's really, really bad. Okay, so it starts off with Hot Wheels and Handler. They're still arguing, both of them. They're going back and forth, or whatever. Hot Wheels to me was getting on my nerves, but Handler to me was getting on my nerves too. And I'll tell you guys what. They start going back and forth. He wouldn't let him talk, Hot Wheels. So then he ends up rolling out. So Jason Lee's like, oh, if you're gonna roll out, you can't be rolling in and out. Like, just roll out, or whatever. So then Hot Wheels like, okay, I'm gonna roll out, and if one of y'all say roll out again, I'm gonna air y'all out online or something like that. Everybody goes roll out. Y'all know Ludacris, roll out. I'm like, yeah. It was funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that part was a little funny, but it's wrong. But it was funny. So he's like, roll out, like he ends up rolling out or whatever. And then this is what makes me mad with the handler. The handler. He takes too long to get his point across. And you know, the handler's been on here a couple of times, whatever. But it's like when he's talking, it's like he's trying to tell you something, but it takes him 5 minutes for you to find out what he's telling you. You're like, and I thought it was maybe the interview, maybe he was nervous or something like that. But I see on like other stuff, he's like that. Like, he takes a long time to get his point across. Like long. Like, we get it. Like, just get to the point, okay? So then the handler starts explaining, but then he starts getting emotional. He's just like. So y'all know Colgate hug it over. He's like, it's okay, man, it's okay, because he just got knocked in his edge. Because while him and the handler, Hot Wheels and the handler were arguing, you already know Mr. Dingling hit him, and the handler ate that. Okay, so he really did eat it. That he took a punch. He didn't get knocked out over the couch, because anybody else, they would have been. Oh! So he took it for what it was worth. He took it. And he wasn't really, affected by it. So shout out to you, the handler, for knowing how to take a punch. Okay, so the handler starts getting emotional, whatever. And then we see backstage, we see Security Bay calming down Hot Wheels. Hi, Security Bay. I told you I found Security Bay Instagram, right? Yeah. So the Hot Wheels rolls back in. And him and Jason start arguing about the roll in and out thing and stuff like that. He's just like, oh, you can't just keep rolling in and out. You can't just be rolling in and out. So then the handler starts explaining himself again. And Jason Lee was like, okay, like, get to the point, whatever. He kept like interrupting him low key. But what he said that was right was he talks too much, but don't really say nothing. So I'm like, okay, like, I agree with that. Okay. But then Jason don't be knowing what he's talking about. Right? Because this is what Jason said. Jason said, oh, you wanted to be a bad boy, but you came on this show. That's not true. The handler never auditioned to be on Bad Boys. He was never on the auditions. No, nothing. The only person we saw was Dingling. We saw, I think, Savage, I believe. Who else? Hot Wheels. And I think it was a couple other people. I think Soul or something. Like, it was a couple other people. But like, we didn't see the handler. So what are you talking about, Jason? Like, you just be talking to say just anything. So that's what you do, Jason Lee. So then apparently, as Bobby reveals it, Bobby's just like, guess what? I have some things to reveal. I do. Guess what? The whole time, the handler and I was getting scammed. He was telling the handler to sell his furniture and his televisions to supply him, just like he was with me and the handler. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So we find out that Mr. Island Boy is ready to scam all these boys. He was telling the handler to sell his flat screens so he could get him some more island things. You feel me? So he was selling a pan of the little 16 inch, 30 inch television. He like, go back, take that back to Walmart. You feel me? Take that back to Walmart and let me get some of the money. Let me get some of the money. That's $2,000. Oh, okay. We're gonna take that to Walmart, and then we're gonna take the $2,000. We're gonna invest in our future handler, Miss Davion. We're gonna invest in our future, Miss Davion. So just take it back and give me the money. So he was doing all of that, and he was getting the money. Shame on you, Jameson. Karma gonna get you back for what you did. Like, you can't make this up. You really can't make this up. So he was scamming both of them at the same time. That's why I felt like Bobby was so mad. Now it makes more sense why Bobby was mad, because not only he was getting money from Bobby, you was getting money from the handler. So it's like, that's kind of messed up that you was scamming them. So you just a whole broke hoe island girl. Like, Jesus Lord. So then after that happens, we see we see Hot Wheels keep interrupting the handler. So the handler's trying to speak, and then mind you, the handler looks like he just dipped his mouth into Kool-Aid, into that red Kool-Aid, into that fruit punch Kool-Aid, because you know his lips is a leaking because Mr. Dingling, you know, knocked him in his scooter. Okay, but then he ate it though. He ate it up. So his lip was bleeding or whatever, and then he's just like, "Shut up, you keep talking. Why you keep talking? Shut up. So he keeps trying to talk. I'm like, I felt so bad for the handler because he's very long-winded. So imagine people interrupting him. He's never gonna get his point across. Like, poor handler. So then the handler leaves the stage and ends up giving Bobby a hug. So basically, what I got from what the handler was saying, he was playing both of them at the same time. We've heard the story 1,001 times before. I feel like we've been hearing about this story or something close to the story for at least 4 months now, and I'm really sick and tired of hearing about it. To be honest, like that's why I'm so happy this series is done and over with, because hashtag the handler needs to die. Okay, not he needs to die, but I'm saying the hashtag needs to die. But I'm telling you, the handler just go on to Not As TV, get you a sickening dating show called Handling the Handler, and call it a day. That's all you need to do, handler. Okay, so you crying and all this stuff, get you a bag and do your big one and level up. That's all. So Hot Wheels and Bobby end up going back and forth, and then Hot Wheels was just like, "Why are you mad? You Andre on the first night. Andre on the first night. You had him banging out your Big Debbie cakes. Your Big Debbie cakes was getting banged out. So what you mad for? Which we all found out a little bit later throughout the season that Bobby was getting his Debbie cake smacked, dapped, dipped, licked, plucked by Andre, okay, in the room, in the main corridors. He was getting banged out by Andre, which I don't blame you, because Andre looks like he got a big piece. But I'm just saying, Bobby, make sure you hide that purse. Okay, so Andre, speaking of hiding that purse, says that he never spent $1 on Andre, and Andre always paid for everything. I'm sorry, but I call BS. The reason why is because Andre just doesn't look like the type that would just pay for everything and not ask Bobby, like, "Hey, can you spot me real quick?" Like, I think that's all cap. I'm sorry, Bobby. Like, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. I get you were trying to make the point. I don't think that he was, let's say, what Island Boy did. I don't think Andre would never do something that Island Boy did. But to believe that, you never had to spot him for nothing, look out, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that. I just don't. Okay, so then how was that? Andre gonna scam you just like Island Boy did. And then Bobby calls out some people. He was just like, you was effing a girl. He pointed at Hercules, saying that some of the boys in the house was dipping it and doing what they had to, and doing it well. They was doing that in the house. Okay. So he was saying he gained a whole level of respect for Andre, and that that's all I'm saying, because Andre must eat some good Debbie cakes, girl, because Bobby wanted to yell it to the world, okay? You know how Mufasa brought out Simba and was like, "Oh, that's how Bobby was, but with his Big Debbie cakes. He basically was like, "He eats my cakes so good every hour, every day. He just eats my Big Debbie cakes for hours and hours and hours." I was like, Jesus Lord, he must do a good job. He was doing amazing. He must do good work, girl. Oh, man. So then Bobby ends up reading Jameson's text about how he was basically scamming, blah, blah, blah. And Bobby gets emotional because Claudia asks him how is he going to deal with love now that he learned all this from the show. And then Bobby ends up getting emotional. He was just like, no, because at the end of the day, love me and love, we don't even be in the same sentence. It's not even Bobby, I love you, Purr. It's Bobby, Purr. Because me and love, I focus on the bag. I ain't doing that. No. So he was just getting emotional. Like, he wasn't with it. Like, he was saying, like, he focused on the bag or whatever. I'm like, listen, I'm right here with you, okay? Because we about that ching, chimmy, chimmy, ching, ching, ching. Not about that ding, 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 ding. So I get it, okay? So I get it. Plus, he was kind of alluding to that he didn't want a second season, which I'm just kind of like, don't let these first season boys stop your bag. Because you say you're worried about the bag, go get another bag and get another season. Your show caused a lot of controversy, believe it or not. Like, Bobby's show caused a lot of controversy. It's always trending and stuff like that. And for all these boys to be able to keep up storylines outside of the show, you need to do another season. The only thing you need to do different is cast a little bit differently. Don't cast a whole bunch of OnlyFans boys. That's it. Like, it's that simple. If you don't want all the headache and drama, stop casting all these OnlyFans boys. That's like, I feel like that would have been the solution to solve all this problem. All this stuff wouldn't have happened because they used to busting it over. That's it. Okay, so the whole time he's crying, Runaway's like, Bobby, I still love you, Pay. Don't cry, Bobby. Bobby, nay. Nay, Bobby. Why you crying, Bobby? I was like, shut up, Rolling Ray. He was so annoying. And then Dingling just out of nowhere just starts screaming. He was like, whoa, what you mean? Because Bobby ends up walking off afterwards a little bit. He was just like, so what you mean? You should have stood there like a grown-ass man. You should have told him. You should have kicked out, what's his name? Jameson. When you find out he slept with another girl, you should, with another boy. He just starts going off. I'm like, first of all, Dingling, shut up. Because you're not even into guys like that. Like, let's really talk about it. You're a definition of G for P. Like, stop. Like, let's just quit and stop the PUSS lying around, flitting around stuff. Like, you're really not into guys like that. So it's just like, you just do it for money because you know it's very quick money. You know that the girls are very hypersexualized. You're the definition of masculine hood trade. Okay, so you know you can make a whole lot of coin and a whole lot of money from putting, you know, your huge dingling all over the internet because you know that the girls are purchased just to see it. But you're not really a part of the community. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, you're really not. Like, you're a whole infiltrator. That's what I think about Dingling. I'm sorry. I sympathize with his situation and everything like that he's going through. But to me, he's just like Hercules. They're both infiltrators in the community. All they saw was an opportunity. And I'm not even talking about the show. I'm just talking about in general. They saw opportunity that, hey, this community is hypersexualized. Most of them. Okay. All of us aren't like this. Just so you guys know. You guys FYI, we're not all like this, okay? So they basically saw that and they're like, oh, I can make a cute corn star meal OnlyFans, bust some Big Debbie cakes open, boop, 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 make thousands and thousands of dollars. That's it. So when Dingling yelling like that, I instantly got annoyed. So the next thing, him and Dingling, Bobby and Dingling start getting into it. They start getting into it. And then next thing, Dingling just go boom, and then he hit Bobby. Why he hit Bobby, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. Like, and Bobby said the whole dying thing after, from what I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn he said the dying thing after. So he hit him, and then he was just like, I hope you die. I hope you lay in the casket right now. Which I'm like, Bobby, that's not right. Like, don't ever say that about somebody because, baby, karma. What you put out there in the world, it really could come back to you like tenfold. So like, you got to be careful about what you say. People, I get it though. He was angry because he just sucker punched him. So like, I get why he said it. I get why he was mad enough to say something like that because he really just knocked him out. I feel like for no really reason at all, to be honest. And then Dingling's just laying down, right? He's laying down because security got him pinned down, and Bobby was just like, "Hold on, I gotta go over there. Hold on." I ain't gonna hit him. I just gotta see something. I just gotta see something. Bow. I gotta see something. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta see something. Bow. I'm sorry, girl. He does a church stomp on Dingling's ankles. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I thought you would have punched him or so. They should start playing Kirk Franklin stomp. They should have been like, dun, 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 stomp. Dun, 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 God. Like, they should have just started playing stomp. Like, They should just start playing stop. So he stomped on his ankles, and then he gets away or whatever. And then we see Bobby put on the do-rag. He changes into like the the jacket, sweatsuit, and all that stuff. And then Bobby says he wants to talk to Dingling. He's like, hold on, no, I just want to talk to him. Security's holding him back. Security's holding him back or whatever. And then Bobby comes back on stage and tells Cash why his feelings were hurt and he should be defending him. And Cash, you a low down dirty. Because he was over in this reunion crying, girl, like doing your tears out. He starts going on the whole speech, just like, no, like, I really love you, Bobby. Like, I couldn't do a lot of the things that like you told me to do because it's like I knew that you was feeling Jameson, and I played my position. That's why my feelings was hurt because I found out that you slept with Andre. Meanwhile, the whole time during the reunion, Island Boy and Island Boy's banging out his Big Debbie cakes. So it's kind of like you're the ultimate actor. Okay. Where are your sides? Where are your sides? Where are your sides? You're the ultimate actor, boy. I couldn't believe it. I said this was a real deal crying. Meanwhile, this whole reunion, the whole time, him and Island Boy was banging each other out. I was like, this is just messy. So that whole crying scene, I was just like, because now that we know what we know now, BS to me. But I do get what they're coming from with him sleeping with Andre, because it's kind of like you defeated the whole purpose of the show, because y'all literally brought back somebody that didn't have to go through like the whole casting, I guess, like process that they had to go through, and you just let him, bang it out. And you already kind of, with you doing that, you kind of like put and implemented that, hey, he's going to be in the finals, or like by you doing that with him, right? So then we see Dingling try to come back on stage. Well, he's off stage. She's arguing with Bob. He was just like, yeah, you say a lot of ignorant. I don't take no disrespect. I don't take no disrespect, right? I don't take no disrespect. I'm an immigrant. My family Mexican. My grandmama from France. I'm Puerto Rican. Fuck is dumb, man. I don't take no disrespect, bro. I don't take no disrespect. Which I was just like, Bobby, he's right about that though, because you call him a dirty immigrant or something. Bobby, you live in Miami. Like, what Miami give. I'm in the area. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might want to relax on that, because some people will not like that off the show, and just like, yeah, don't do that. Like, and I know Bobby's family's not all American, so it's like, you get what I'm saying? Because I think he's like mixed with like, you get what I'm saying, like Spanish and all that stuff. So it's like, I could doubt all of your family tree is just full on American. Like, so don't do the whole immigrant thing. So I agree with Dingling, crazy, but when he was saying that comment, but that was still no reason for you to punch him randomly in the face. Like, that just didn't make any sense to me. Dingling, like, he likes attention. You could tell he really likes attention. So then, of course, Gohart starts crying again. He was just like, I play my role. Like, I really play my role with you. I play my role. Jameson, like, I play my role. I was like, you playing your role all right. You playing? I'm playing. So then Crouton speaks. So they asked Crouton why he hit Dimitri. Which I'm like, it kind of made me mad, because I'm like, so you couldn't have said this from the jump, so that way we understand why you hit him, instead of calling me disrespectful for making fun of you for hitting him for what I thought at the time was no reason. But apparently Dimitri keeps sliding in his DMs or something, like they keep talking in DMs, and Dimitri, I guess, keeps making sexual advances at him. And y'all know Crouton had an SA situation. And I guess one time Dimitri was like, oh, can you suck my D or something like that? And then what's his name? Crouton said no. And then Dimitri was just like, well, can you do it on my toes? Like Sukiana did. I'm sorry, I cracked up when he said that. Dimitri to me will never not be funny, because it's his characteristics. The whole situation wasn't funny though, because if the boys doesn't want you, stop making advances at him. Like, that's weird, that's nasty. But now we get why he hit Dimitri. But I don't know. That's why he hit him. It does sound a little far-fetched and a little bit dramatic. I don't think the way that Crouton was wording it was probably exactly how it went. I just think Dimitri went along with it, because at that point he was kind of exhausted at the whole situation. But if it was the case, Dimitri, leave that boy alone. Okay? That's all. Okay, so then we see Colgate and Big Bird speak, and Big Bird was saying he felt very hurt about Bobby and Ray's comments. He felt like Ray making fun of him being bigger. That wasn't cool. at all. Like he really didn't like that and stuff like that. Which I was like, that's true, because like it's one thing to have did the fat jokes on him like every now and then. They did it like every time that they talked to Big Bird. I was like, okay, we get he fat. Like, okay, like we get it. Okay. So then we saw Hot Wheels talking about how he wants to better his attitude because he wants to get political. Okay. In the words of Beyonce, he wants to get political. And stuff like that. So he wants to better his attitude and blah 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 blah. The girls always say that when they want to go political. But I do like what Hot Wheels is trying to do with the raising pow pow pow. You already know GUN awareness. He is doing that on his social media. I've seen a lot lately on his like stories and stuff like that. So that is good that he's doing that, because his story, he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. So that happens to a lot of people, and that's why he's in the wheelchair to even begin with. So that's good that he's doing that for a good cause and stuff like that. So then Bobby comes out, interrupts the good and gracious moment we're having, and ends up throwing sandals and hookahs and just random sandals and trinkets that he has in his pocket. Just starts throwing them. Okay, he starts throwing them. Dingling ends up catching one. So then he's like, I got a deal, said a deal. What Pop Smoke said? RP to Pop Smoke. Deal. RP to Pop Smoke, but RP to Pop Smoke, but yeah. RP to Pop Smoke, yeah. I ain't never letting go of these, but I got me some Dior sandals. Mind you, the whole time they was Fendi. Those were champion. So he starts waving it around and stuff like that. They end up getting the sandals back. And then they asked Soul his final thoughts. Soul is basically saying how he wants to change the face of the community because a lot of dudes like him are like DL and stuff like that. I was like, that was such a good thing for him to say, because I'm like, wow, like, thank you, Soul. That was one of my on there for being authentically yourself and showing us another face of the community and that we're not all messy girls. Okay, so shout out to Soul for that. All right, Bobby comes back and starts yelling to get his sandals. He gets his sandals back, and then at one point, him and Dingling, this is why this is the point where it's giving powder donuts. Okay, because him and Bobby just start low-key flirting with each other, and then Bobby's just like, so like, you gonna get my sandals back? And then he was just like, I can do it like money. Like, you want to see my Dingling again? And then he was just like, pull it out. I might suck it. I'm like, really? Like, y'all doing too much. It makes no sense. Okay. So then Saul, like I said he wants to change the face of the community. And then Jameis, we get an emotional moment, right? Because Dingling said that he was mad at Bob because he didn't check in on him. He felt like he didn't check in on him while he got, I guess, a diagnosis. Apparently and allegedly, I guess he got like a cancer diagnosis. So that's why I think that's why he got escorted out of that episode in the hospital. It had nothing to do with weed and drinking. So I think he just said that to kind of save face. Okay. So then we see Jameson, everybody starts getting emotional and stuff like that because we start to talk a little bit more about how Dingling's physical health is doing and everything like that. And it starts to, be like a really good moment and stuff like that. And then Claudia pans to Jameson as to why he's crying, and he turns it into him and Bobby's whole thing. I'm like, listen, this moment not about you and Bobby. It's about Dingling. Like, what's wrong with you, Dingling? Are you gonna be okay? Like, we want to hear more of what happened with Dingling. Like the whole Jameson, Island Boy, and Bobby thing, them going back and forth. I was just like, oh my god, like I do not care. I just want to hear what's wrong with Dingling because we don't know specifics yet because he doesn't really talk about it. Okay, but Bobby did say like, hey, he told him to drink certain juices and stuff like that. So I'm getting like cancer vibes. He was telling him to drink certain juices and eat certain things so that way his health could like progress and get a lot better. So I just wish we had got a little bit more of that moment, but it starts turning into Jameson and Bobby, and then Bobby's like starts crying and stuff like that, and then Jameson's like, no, Bobby, like you don't even know, like I never was with Miss Davion. I never seen Miss Davion in my eyesight. I was in a relationship with you. Me and Miss Davion never even saw each other. I never saw Miss Davion, and like you're such a narcissist, because you know you were telling Davey on the opposite, that it was just for TV and everything like that. Like, to me, Cash and Jameson are the biggest issues of this cast. I feel like they both weren't casted. Half of these problems wouldn't have existed. I can guarantee you that. A little bit probably would, don't get me wrong, but I think most of the problems wouldn't exist if those two weren't casted. 100%. Okay, so then Jameson and Bobby do, aka Alec Boy, because I don't be knowing their names. They doing like a fake hug out and stuff like that. And I'm happy with what Trax said, because they get to Trax. Trax was basically saying, like, as a community, they need to do better, because some of the things that were shown on the show is a lot of what people think about us and everything like that. And I'm like, thank you for making that point, because like not all of us are like this entertainers. I'm just saying some of us are, but some of us aren't. So it's kind of like people look at this show and put us all in a box, and they think that we all act like this. They think we all sleep around. They think we're all messy. They think we all, do OnlyFans. They think we all just bust open the pussy. We spread the dingling around, and that's just not the case. Not all of us are like that. So I was really glad that Trax did it, and that's why, like, this show to me was a little, as much as y'all don't think it was irritating for me to watch one. Sometimes it was funny, don't get me wrong, but it was like I felt embarrassed, because I'm like, people gonna watch this that straight and gonna be like, they all like that girl. Like, look at them. That's how them punks do. They be sleeping around. You know how the girls do. So that's why the show to me was just like, oh my god, oh my god. Like, and then we had Wet made it worse. Like, I'm just glad this series is over. Hercules was saying he wouldn't bring half of them around their family. I'm like, oh, I agree with you. I wouldn't bring half of them around my family either, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about this last episode. Y'all, the series is done. Praise God, praise God, praise God. I do think Bobby should do season 2 just to sort of redeem himself. He just needs to pay very close attention to the casting. I think that's what will determine a good season 2 for him. Okay? All right, entertainers, let me know what you guys think, and we are out, babies. Catch you on the after show.
No personal thing.